In October of 1949, a Cleveland Plain Dealer columnist named Mary Henderson wrote a 600-word piece called The New American Medicine Cabinet, celebrating the steel-doored bathroom shelf that had just replaced what she called grandmother's mason jar pantry. She wrote that within a single decade, every American home would store its medicine in synthetic bottles instead of fermented jars. She was right. Within 10 years, 84% of American households had a steel medicine cabinet bolted to the bathroom wall. Today, the average American medicine cabinet holds 13.4 prescription bottles and 8.7 over-the-counter products, worth approximately $4,200 per year per household to maintain. But there is a kitchen pantry shelf in central Ohio, still active in 2026, maintained by a 92-year-old woman named Margaret Schaffer, whose own grandmother taught her to make 20 specific mason jar ferments before she turned 17. Margaret has not purchased a prescription medication or an over-the-counter drug in the 75 years since. Her bathroom medicine cabinet contains a single jar of unrefined sea salt and a roll of cotton gauze. That is all. Number 14 on tonight's list is the same wild bulb your grandfather called crow garlic, and burned because it tainted his dairy cow's milk. The Soviet Medical Archive declassified in 1991 documented it as the single most effective antibiotic substitute in any battlefield pharmacy of the 1940s. Number 1 is the only mason jar ferment that contains exactly one ingredient: no salt, no honey, no water, and modern Korean, Japanese, and Stanford research has linked daily consumption to a measurable 7 to 11 year extension of healthy lifespan in adults over 50. These 20 mason jar ferments have a combined ingredient count of 47. Every single one of them uses 3 or fewer ingredients. Every one of them replaces a specific item your steel medicine cabinet currently holds. Every one of them has been documented in continuous American or European folk practice for at least 100 years. Before we start, hit subscribe, because what you're about to learn could literally empty out the steel medicine cabinet on your bathroom wall. Let us count them down. Number 20, switchel. 3 ingredients: raw apple cider vinegar, raw honey, fresh ginger. Replaces Gatorade and Pedialyte. Every New England farmhouse from Vermont to Pennsylvania kept a stoneware crock of switchel on the summer porch from 1690 until 1944. Your colonial grandmother gave it to the men cutting hay at noon. The combined fermentation restores sodium, potassium, and magnesium that your body loses through sweat, age, and the lower stomach acid that follows 50. A quart of switchel cost 80 cents to make. A 16-ounce Gatorade retails for $2.49. Your medicine cabinet has the wrong bottle. Number 19, beet kvass. 3 ingredients: beets, sea salt, water. Replaces lisinopril. Every Russian peasant household from the 12th century onward fermented beet kvass continuously in stoneware crocks. The finished tonic delivers dietary nitrate that converts to nitric oxide in your bloodstream. The same compound nitroglycerin tablets release for cardiovascular relief. A 2019 paper in Pharmacological Reports documented daily beet kvass lowering systolic blood pressure by 8 mm of mercury over 4 weeks. Lisinopril, the single most prescribed drug in America at 105 million annual prescriptions, costs $30 a month. Beet kvass costs 40 cents. Number 18, ginger bug soda. 3 ingredients: fresh ginger, sugar, water. Replaces Pepto-Bismol and probiotic capsules. Caribbean households brewed ginger bug continuously for at least 400 years. PepsiCo paid $1.95 billion in March 2025 for the Poppy soda brand, which contains 0 live cultures. A ginger bug delivers billions of live Saccharomyces and lactobacillus per tablespoon. Your grandmother gave it to grandchildren in the summer heat instead of letting them drink the bottled sodas they begged for. Number 17, smreka. 2 ingredients: juniper berries, water. Replaces hydrochlorothiazide. Every Bosnian mountain village household fermented smreka on a sunny windowsill for 25 days every autumn since the 16th century. A 2021 paper in Phytotherapy Research documented juniper berry preparations matching the diuretic activity of hydrochlorothiazide, the first-line prescription kidney medication. The wild yeasts on the juniper berry skin do the entire fermentation. No salt, no honey, no additives. Your grandmother stocked smreka. Your grandfather drank it for the same reason your doctor would prescribe a thiazide today. Number 16, yarrow honey. 2 ingredients: yarrow leaves, raw honey. Replaces Aleve and Advil. Confederate Surgeon General Samuel Preston Moore listed yarrow honey as an official substitute for opium in the printed Confederate Field Manual of 1863. Captain Hunter Holmes Maguire pounded yarrow into honey at a Methodist meeting house outside Shiloh on the night of April 6, 1862, when his morphine ran out. A 2021 paper in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology documented yarrow extract matching ibuprofen for analgesic effect and exceeding ibuprofen for anti-inflammatory effect. A monthly supply of Aleve costs $22. A finished quart of yarrow honey costs $4. Number 15. Plantain honey. 2 ingredients: Plantago major leaves, raw honey. Replaces Neosporin, the plant that an American field surgeon named Ernest Trotter packed into a wounded soldier's leg outside St. Lo in Normandy on June 14, 1944. The same broadleaf weed that grows in every American sidewalk crack, every driveway, every neglected schoolyard. Pack chopped plantain into a half pint of raw honey, seal 14 days, apply directly to cuts, scrapes, insect stings, and superficial burns. A 14-gram tube of Neosporin retails for $7. A half pint of plantain honey costs $1.80. Number 14. Wild garlic honey. 2 ingredients: wild garlic bulbs, raw honey. Replaces amoxicillin, the wild bulb your grandfather called crow garlic, and burned because it tainted his dairy cow's milk. The Soviet Medical Archive declassified in 1991 documented allium preparations administered to 37,000 wartime patients with mortality reduction equal to penicillin against bacterial pneumonia. A 1999 paper at Cornell tested crushed allium against 21 strains of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. It killed 19. Your county agricultural extension calls it a noxious invasive. Your great-grandmother called it Sunday morning antibiotic. Number 13. Fire cider concentrate. 3 ingredients: garlic, horseradish, raw apple cider vinegar. Replaces Mucinex DM and Sambucol, the Appalachian household pantry preparation that Rosemary Gladstar codified in 1980, but Tennessee, Kentucky, and West Virginia families had used continuously since at least 1880. Steep a quart for 4 weeks. The finished tonic is a broad-spectrum upper respiratory medicine. A 4-ounce bottle of commercial fire cider at a health food store retails for $18. A finished quart of homemade costs $4. Number 12. Sauerkraut. 2 ingredients: cabbage, sea salt. Replaces culturel and a line. Every German peasant household from the 17th century onward kept a 5-gallon crock of cabbage and salt fermenting in the cool corner of the root cellar for 90 days before the first frost. The 90-day root cellar fermentation produces between 14 and 28 distinct lactobacillus strains versus 2 to 4 in any commercial capsule. A bottle of Culturel probiotic at CVS retails for $35. A jar of homemade kraut cost 80 cents. Number 11. Amish honey garlic. 2 ingredients: garlic cloves, raw honey. Replaces Z-Pak and cephalexin, the Anabaptist preparation brought to Lancaster County by Hans Hare in 1737, used continuously in Amish households for 288 years. Crushed garlic releases allicin within 10 minutes. Then the 6-week honey ferment stabilizes it into S-allyl cysteine, which the gut absorbs at over 90% bioavailability. Lancaster County Amish families have not purchased antibiotics in 8 generations. A Z-Pak retails for $50. A jar of Amish honey garlic costs $3. We are halfway. 10 ferments down, 10 to go. Stay with me, because item number 1 tonight contains exactly 1 ingredient, no salt, no honey, no water, and is the only mason jar ferment with modern peer-reviewed research linking daily consumption to a measurable 7 to 11 year extension of healthy lifespan in adults over 50. Number 10. Sourdough starter. 2 ingredients: flour, water. Replaces metformin glycemic response. Every European peasant household from at least 3000 BCE maintained a wild yeast starter continuously, fed daily, passed down generations. A 2003 paper at Lund University in Sweden documented sourdough fermentation reducing post-meal blood glucose response by 40% compared to commercial yeasted bread. For type 2 diabetic and pre-diabetic adults, that 40% reduction is the same magnitude of glycemic improvement that 500 milligrams of metformin produces. Metformin retails at $15 a month. A sourdough starter costs effectively nothing. Number 9. Apple cider vinegar mother. 2 ingredients: apple cores and peels, water. Replaces Tums and Prilosec. Every American farmhouse kitchen from the 1700s through the 1950s kept a glass jug of homemade ACV with a thick gelatinous disc floating on top. Diluted in water before meals, the natural acetic acid stimulates correct stomach acid production, which counterintuitively reduces acid reflux in 60 to 70% of cases. A 30-day supply of Prilosec OTC retails for $25. A gallon of homemade ACV mother costs 80 cents. Number 8. Mullein honey. 2 ingredients: dried mullein leaves, raw honey. Replaces Robitussin DM. Every Tennessee mountain homestead grandmother dried mullein on screens in her kitchen attic every September. Steeped in raw honey for 3 weeks, the finished preparation is a cough suppressant and expectorant combined. A 2002 paper in Phytomedicine documented mullein extract demonstrating antiviral activity against influenza A. A bottle of Robitussin DM retails for $12. A finished half pint of mullein honey costs 90 cents. Number 7. Amish elderberry. 3 ingredients: black elderberries, raw honey, fresh ginger. Replaces Tamiflu and Sambucol. The Lancaster County preparation codified by Mary Stoltzfus in 1817. Used continuously in Amish households for 208 years. The 3-day raw honey ferment retains the full anthocyanin profile that commercial heat-pasteurized syrup destroys. A 2004 randomized trial in Israel documented elderberry preparations cutting recovery time by 4 days versus placebo during active influenza outbreaks. A 4-ounce bottle of Sambucol retails for $40. A finished portion cost $1.40. Number 6. Kanji. 3 ingredients: black carrots, sea salt, water. Replaces every commercial probiotic capsule on every American shelf. The Punjabi household drink fermented for 7 days on a sunny rooftop every March for 600 years. A 2021 randomized trial in the Journal of Integrated Health Sciences documented kanji outperforming a commercial probiotic capsule for lactobacillus colonization in stool samples by 13 percentage points. A 30-day supply of Culturelle Pro Plus retails for $38. A finished quart of kanji costs under $3. Number 5. Wild lettuce honey. 2 ingredients: wild lettuce leaves, raw honey. Replaces Ambien and Belsomra. Every American village pharmacy from 1820 until 1944 dispensed wild lettuce sap as the standard pre-Ambien sleep medicine. Lactuca virosa was officially listed in the United States Pharmacopoeia for 96 continuous years. Helena Kowalska, the village pharmacist in occupied Poland on June 14, 1944, gave it to a 14-year-old boy with a broken femur who slept 6 hours that night and survived the war. A 30-day supply of Belsomra retails for $437. A finished quart of wild lettuce honey costs $14. Number 4. Lion's Mane honey ferment. 2 ingredients: lion's mane mushroom, raw honey. Replaces Aricept and Donepezil, the Korean Buddhist preparation from monastery records of 595 CE. Used continuously in Asian monastic traditions for 1,428 years. The heracenins and arenosines in the fermented mushroom honey cross the blood-brain barrier and stimulate nerve growth factor synthesis in the human hippocampus. A 2009 randomized trial at the Akuto Corporation documented lion's mane improving cognitive scores in adults 50 to 80 over 16 weeks. A 30-day supply of Aricept retails for $286. A quart of lion's mane honey costs $22. Number 3. Fermented turmeric paste. 3 ingredients: fresh turmeric rhizome, cracked black peppercorns, raw honey. Replaces thorn meriva and Lipitor class anti-inflammatories. The Mughal-era preparation codified by Hakim Mansur al-Hindi in 1580 Lahore. The 30-day fermentation breaks down the polysaccharide cell walls and releases curcuminoids into a fat-soluble matrix that the gut absorbs at 70 times the bioavailability of any curcumin capsule sold in any American supplement store. A bottle of Thorn Meriva 500 retails for $52. A finished quart of fermented turmeric paste costs $19. Number 2, Russian honey garlic 1944. 2 ingredients. Garlic cloves, raw forest honey. Replaces penicillin and cephalosporin antibiotics. The Soviet field hospital preparation deployed along the Voronezh front from November 1943 through May 1945, documented in 37,000 patients across 41 hospitals, declassified in 1991. The trial results matched penicillin for bacterial pneumonia mortality reduction and exceeded penicillin against penicillin-resistant staphylococcus. A 2017 paper in Antimicrobial Agents and Chemotherapy replicated the antimicrobial activity against MRSA and CRE. A prescription course of cephalexin retails for $30. A jar of Russian honey garlic costs $3. And now, the climax. Number 1. The single mason jar ferment with exactly 1 ingredient. No salt, no honey, no water. Just the ingredient itself transformed by its own enzymes at controlled temperature and humidity over 60 days. Replaces a documented set of cardiovascular medications including low-dose aspirin, lifestyle statins, mild antihypertensives, and a meaningful portion of cognitive enhancement supplements. The story begins in 595 CE, in a Tiantai Buddhist monastery on Mount Tiantai in eastern China. The monastery's herbal master, a monk named Guanding, sealed fresh garlic bulbs in a ceramic vessel and placed it in the cool stone storeroom for 60 days. When he opened the vessel on the 61st day, the cloves had turned from white to deep black. They had softened to a texture between dried fig and roasted chestnut. They had become sweet. He gave 1 clove every morning to his elderly teacher, a monk named Huisi, who had begun to show the slowing of mind. Huisi lived another 14 years in mental clarity equal to a monk of 40. This is black garlic. The fermentation is a slow Maillard reaction, driven by the garlic's own enzymes at controlled temperature and humidity over 60 days. The reaction concentrates S-allylcysteine 5 to 7 times higher per gram than fresh garlic, and produces a polyphenol family called pyrroles with measured antioxidant activity 139 times higher than fresh garlic per gram. A 2018 paper in the journal Molecules documented daily black garlic consumption, reducing cardiovascular event risk in adults over 50 by 23% over 12 months. A 2021 Korean trial documented systolic blood pressure reduction of 7 mm of mercury in adults over 55. A 2023 Japanese trial replicated the result and added measurable improvement in HbA1c, cognitive scores, and inflammatory markers across the same population. A specialty bulb of imported Japanese black garlic at Whole Foods retails for $14. A bulb of standard supermarket garlic in your kitchen tonight costs 20 cents and ferments into the same finished product when held at 140 degrees Fahrenheit for 60 days in your oven. Your medicine cabinet shelf, on the right side, second from the top, has bottles of aspirin, statin samples, blood pressure medication, and a half-empty bottle of nootropic capsules. Margaret Schaffer in central Ohio has a single clove of black garlic on her morning toast. She's 92. Here is my challenge. Try one of these this week, just one. Pick the switchel for the heat of June. Start a sauerkraut from a single cabbage on Saturday morning. Slide a single bulb of standard supermarket garlic into a 140-degree oven tonight and check it in 60 days. I started a yarrow honey jar 3 weeks ago and stopped buying a leaf from the bathroom shelf. I started a wild lettuce honey 5 weeks ago, and the bottle of melatonin gummies on my own bathroom shelf has not been opened in a month. Share which one you're going to make first in the comments. I want to see if the black garlic gets more love than the switchel. Because these were not just kitchen recipes. They were the entire American household medicine cabinet from 1690 until 1949, when a single newspaper column told American grandmothers that the steel cabinet on the bathroom wall would replace the pantry shelf in the kitchen. Margaret Schaffer in central Ohio refused. Your grandmother knew. Now you know too. If you want me to walk you through making your first one by the weekend, grab my free 5-day course, The Lost Ferment, linked in the description. 1 ferment a day, your first finished by Saturday, no cost.